My husband, John Wilson, suggested a paper divorce to transfer the old house under my name, while he purchased a new property. I readily agreed and drafted the divorce papers. He smiled tenderly. You're the best. Honey. I swear we'll remarry as soon as the deed comes through. I gazed into his eyes. Swear you'll die horribly if you betray me. John froze momentarily before recovering. I swear if John Wilson ever betrays Emily Clark, may I perish in agony. I smiled faintly. Soon he'd face that exact fate. After all, I'd been reborn. As John traced floor plan diagrams, Mrs. Wilson chirped supportively across the table. Look at Green Court's 1,300 square feet unit southern exposure. New district transit plans. And top-rated schools for Lily's kindergarten. Rage surged through me at his casual mention of our daughter. Lily. Last life. He tricked me into this sham divorce, saddling me with secretly triple-mortgaged property while absconding with all marital assets and custody rights, all to legitimize his affair with Sophia Miller, my former intern whom I'd recommended for permanent position. After Sophia bore his son, Lily became unwanted baggage. She gets 2 meals. Sophia sneered when I fought for custody. She'll make a decent servant for my boy. Between evasive legal battles and workplace rumors they spread about me sleeping with the CEO, I lost my job. Loan sharks came for the house, 3 illegal mortgages John had taken, leaving me $2 million in debt. My final memory was being shoved downstairs during foreclosure. Now, digging nails into John's palm until he yelped. I feigned remorse. The down payment's 70%. Thinking of Lily's future breaks my heart. Mrs. Wilson had sabotaged me since learning Lily's gender during that rigged ultrasound. No grandsons? We'll be village laughingstocks. Cold meals replaced proper nutrition once John worked late. She'd intercept my food deliveries, dumping takeout for stray dogs. Lily arrived premature after that malnutrition. The doctor urged C-section, but Mrs. Wilson blocked surgery until my parents raced from out of state to authorize it. Our daughter survived with chronic health issues, yet John still let his mother name her Lily Clark, erasing my family legacy. This time, I'd make them pay. He even forcefully insisted his mother move out of our home and booked me into the best postpartum care center. At that time, I thought I'd truly married the right person. John was the man I'd spend my life with. Who could have imagined he'd eventually drive me to despair? All because he'd inherited his mother's toxic preference for sons? I'd forgotten the saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If the foundation's rotten, what hope is there for the rest? A plan suddenly crystallized in my mind. In my previous life, I'd fantasized countless times about making their entire family lose everything if given another chance. John pulled me into an embrace, oozing fake concern. Honey, David's family just bought a new place downtown with 35% down payment. They saved over $100,000 in taxes. I looked up with tearful eyes. My act half genuine. But aren't they under purchase restrictions? How'd they manage it? The coastal city's policy mandated 35% down payment and 1.5% deed tax for first homes, doubling for second properties. Singles could own 1 residence. Married couples too. David and his wife got legally divorced. John explained, fingertips brushing my nose. Transferred their current home to her name so he could qualify as first-time buyer again. My hesitation showed. Won't they get caught? Everything's legally airtight, he assured. Mrs. Wilson's beady eyes lit up. How much are we saving? John flashed 5 fingers dramatically. At least $500,000 between interest and tax breaks. That much? I feigned shock, hand covering my mouth. No risks? None. He crooned, gazing with manufactured tenderness that turned my stomach. Fighting nausea. I mirrored his expression. You're right, darling. Let's work this out. The Wilsons' eyes simultaneously gleamed with avarice. John produced a calculator, keys clacking urgently. For a 10 million property, 150,000 taxes. 3.5 million down. We need 3,650,000 liquid. How much is in your account? Under their burning stares. I frowned. Only about $1 million. What about you? He froze. Clearly unprepared for this. Mrs. Wilson erupted first, 8 years as a director and this is all you've saved? Dabbing imaginary tears. I countered, remember when your brother needed $300,000 to build his house? You said it was an honor for John to handle his funeral rites someday. That money came from my savings when John's funds were tied up in stocks. Then there's Lily's tuition since high school, $60,000 annually. Your supplements and spa retreats cost another $80,000 each year. The older woman flushed but persisted, family should support each other. But $1 million's not enough. Smiling coolly, I turned to John. You earn $500,000 at the tech firm. Even after contributing $100,000 yearly to household expenses. You should have $3 million saved. Combined with my $1 million, we're covered. John shifted uncomfortably, glancing at his mother. My portfolio's underwater right now. I knew better, half his wealth funded Mrs. Wilson's lifestyle. The rest spent on Sophia. He probably only had $800,000 liquid. Since he wanted to manipulate me, I'd dismantle his scheme entirely. If necessary, we could sell this old place instead of fake divorcing. A 70% down payment would. No. Mother and son shouted in unison. I lowered my lashes, their synchronized protest confirmed she knew about his affair. But where would your parents stay? Mrs. Wilson pressed. Could you sleep soundly making them homeless? Your mother contributed $1 million to this place. You're right. I conceded, scribbling calculations. If we could temporarily secure $2 million. My next quarter bonuses look strong. Maybe request an advance on year-end incentives? As anticipated, Mrs. Wilson pounced. John. Emily, I'll contribute my husband's life insurance payout. Consider it my stake. I shook my head vehemently. We can't take your retirement funds. Nonsense. We're family. She insisted. Desperate to protect the grandson, Sophia threatened to abort unless John left me. After token resistance, I proposed, let's transfer the old house to your name as collateral. Once I repay you, we'll revert ownership before Lily's school enrollment deadlines. John's tension visibly eased. Behind my grateful smile, I laughed bitterly. Let them bask in their imagined victory, soon enough. Their golden cage would become their prison. The house had already been cashed out for $500,000. The reason loan sharks are terrifying is the compound interest. In less than 2 months, the debt would multiply several times over. This property was a ticking time bomb in my hands. Transferring it to his mother's name, surely he wouldn't abandon his own mother? With the housing funds settled, we needed to discuss child custody. My daughter was both my weakness and obsession. This lifetime, I'd never let John steal her away from me. That child would be mine. I printed divorce agreement templates online. Honey, look at these related news articles, they're hilarious. I handed my phone to John. The headline read, Man tricks wife into sham divorce and schemes to seize custody, mother collapses crying outside courthouse. John's face twitched before forcing an ugly smile. What a scumbag. He deserves to rot in hell. Wonderful. I purred, savoring his discomfort. Keep cursing like that, the sooner you drop dead. Aloud, I said, my husband would never do such things. Let's use this template for our fake divorce papers anyway. Mrs. Wilson craned her neck to read the terms. When she saw the clause, full custody to mother, $10,000 monthly child support paid up front until age 18. Visitation rights granted solely to mother, her smile froze. Emily dear, these terms seem unreasonable. John nodded agreement. I explained patiently. Mom, it's not real. The child support numbers are just placeholders. We're family. Would I actually make John wire the money? Mrs. Wilson still looked doubtful until John gave her a subtle nod. She immediately clammed up. Perfect. Let's sign it. Anything else? Sweetheart? John thumped his chest like some noble knight. I lowered my eyes demurely, wiping imaginary tears. My mother called last week. She misses Lily so much. Remember when Lily was a baby? She had to be held upright for months. Mom carried her constantly. Now that we're doing this fake divorce, what if rumors reach Lily? It might traumatize her. I want to send her to Suzhou for a few days. Relief flooded John's face. Of course. Her preschool's on break anyway. We'll all visit your parents. I laughed lightly. Your company's swamped with that new property purchase. Besides, I need to ask Mom for renovation funds. It's easier without you there. As John opened his mouth to protest, Mrs. Wilson kicked him under the table. Good idea. Spend time with your mother. I printed 2 copies. John signed without hesitation. You're amazing, Emily. He beamed. I swear we'll remarry the moment the deed clears. I gazed up adoringly. Swear it properly, John. Say, if John betrays Emily, may he die horribly. His smile faltered for a split second. I swear if John betrays Emily, may I die horribly. My answering smile could have frozen hell. Soon enough, that oath would claim him. As for remarrying this community dick, I'd rather French kiss a sewer rat. Oh, Mom, I added brightly. Didn't you want to visit Yunnan? I booked a tour group. You can go after the property transfer. Mrs. Wilson's eyes crinkled with delight. I retreated to the bedroom. Last lifetime. I'd also sent her traveling trying to mend bridges for future babysitting needs. In Yunnan, she'd smashed jade bracelets during a shop dispute. I'd raced there to bail her out, paid $150,000 compensation, and groveled apologies. By the time I returned, John had bought his love nest and married Sophia. That homewrecker hid my Lily while spreading rumors I'd abandoned my family for affairs. She even posted suggestive TikTok videos manipulating my daughter, making Lily believe Mommy didn't want her. I can still hear those heartrending sobs. Mommy! I want Mommy! I was cyberbullied and publicly shamed online, branded a slut in this modern-day digital witch hunt. What shattered me most was losing contact with my daughter Lily since that day. 2 endless years of silence. My sweet Lily used to have porcelain skin and dimpled smiles that could warm the coldest heart. Now I spent days staring at her photos in our old house, surviving on love for her and hatred toward the Wilson family. I'd hoped for spring blossoms but found only despair's abyss. Death taught me souls have weight. My lingering attachment was Lily. I couldn't rest without seeing her. Before vanishing completely, I was pulled to my daughter's side. She crouched in a tiny storage room barely 4 square meters. No bed in sight. Yellowed blankets piled in the corner, their torn edges exposing dingy gray cotton. My 6-year-old girl now had stick-thin limbs, raw peeling hands, and faint bruises marring her thighs. Her once sparkling eyes had gone dull and lifeless. Lily! It's Mommy! I cried, my spectral form trembling. Look at me, baby. This is all my fault. Lily lifted her head as if sensing me, cracked lips moving. Mama. Her raspy voice broke as she collapsed onto the blankets, clutching a threadbare teddy bear. Tears glimmered as she whispered, Mama, hurts. I screamed and threw myself against the invisible barrier separating us. Helpless as she fell. When are you coming for me? She whimpered. I've been so good. John Wilson and Sophia Miller knew keeping Lily hostage ensured my compliance. They'd hidden my child in this prison, denying her school while torturing her body and spirit. To them, my daughter was just leverage. A baby's wail echoed outside. Footsteps thundered down the hall. Lily scrambled backward like a frightened animal, chanting, "Aunt Sophia." No hit. Sorry. Sorry. Sophia Miller kicked the door open, her frame blocking the light. Shut your trap. Bastard brat. Your whore mother abandoned you. Behind her, Mrs. Wilson bounced a chubby toddler. Beat sense into the ungrateful wretch. The older woman sneered. Girls need discipline. Sophia snatched John's belt from the wall, eyes glittering viciously. The leather cracked against Lily's shin. My baby's screams merged with the infant's cries across the hall. Stop crying! Sophia roared. Just like your stuck-up mother. Thought she was better than us country folks with her Chanel bags and only child heirs. Another whip snapped flesh. I married your father anyway. Take your beating like a good girl. I battered uselessly against the barrier, haunted by memories of advising Sophia to value herself over constantly funding her brother. She'd chosen resentment over self-respect. And now my Lily paid the price. I survived on plain steamed buns and bottled water. When I accidentally shattered Sophia's fragile pride, I spoke to our boss about expediting her probation period. Yet this woman repaid my kindness by destroying my marriage and my daughter. Some people's inherent vulgarity can't be educated away, no matter how you try. John returned from work to chaotic wailing. I pleaded with my eyes, hoping he'd at least restrain the hysterical Sophia. Instead, he adjusted his cufflinks indifferently. Keep it down. Last noise complaint took weeks to resolve with the neighborhood committee. This man occupied half my lifetime. 12 years since college, marriage, and having our child, yet I never saw this ice in his veins. I still remember him standing rigid in threadbare clothes outside the student union office, requesting part-time work with military posture despite the humiliation. When rejected, he'd simply nodded. That stubborn pride captivated me. Later I secured him a library shelving position. During slow afternoons, I'd tease him between book stacks, stealing kisses in dusty corners. We fell desperately in love. You'll always be my everything, Emily, he'd vowed. Now our Lily meant less than an inconvenience to him. Rage burned through me as autumn wind rattled the windows. When the neighbor's obese brat had a seizure, the entire Wilson clan abandoned Lily for the hospital. My daughter burrowed into frayed blankets, clutching her teddy bear. Lily will run away too. Mommy won't leave Lily? Her whisper shattered me. I ached to gut those hypocrites. Suddenly, the invisible barrier broke. I cradled her bony shoulders. Mommy loves you. A sigh echoed through the room. One chance. Don't waste it. My fingernails dug crescents into the travel brochure as I texted David, change my mom's Yunnan Deluxe tour to Pinduoduo shopping group. He replied instantly, that's all forced purchases. No sightseeing. She wants to splurge on jade bracelets. After prolonged typing, he sent, we'll ensure Mrs. Wilson shops till satisfied, refunding the $17,000 difference. The unbreakable gold bangle I'd buy with that money would serve multiple purposes. Presenting the revised itinerary to Mrs. Wilson. I used concern, your private concierge will handle everything. The entitled hag who'd tormented our housekeepers beamed. What if I see something pricey? I handed her platinum card. 50,000 limit. Spend freely, just don't tell John. You know how he hates useless rocks. On the balcony, my husband chuckled into his phone, no doubt updating Sophia. Mrs. Wilson stroked the credit card like a lover. Such a thoughtful daughter. Her saccharine tone turned my stomach. Soon, that card would become their family's guillotine blade. Yes. That brat doesn't care about his mother at all. He's completely wrapped around. She seemed to catch herself mid-sentence, awkwardly pivoting. A daughter-in-law is like half a daughter, so much more considerate. I smiled politely. It wasn't my credit card anyway. I'd be thrilled if the old bat maxed out her son's account. This particular card had been a mandatory perk from John's workplace. He'd complained about the annual fee, but I insisted we keep it for emergencies. Now look how handy it became. Mrs. Wilson fretted. Who'll feed the stray cat downstairs after I leave? I snapped back to reality. Don't worry, Mom. Since Emily and I are divorcing but still cohabiting, I'll handle it. John emerged from his call looking smug, grabbing his suit jacket from the couch. Babe, there's an emergency at work. Gotta run. I straightened his tie. Dinner? Client drinks tonight. Client drinks my ass. I thought. More like celebrating with Sophia, toasting their newfound family built on my ruins. Does happiness stolen through others' pain ever last? A cold laugh escaped me as I viciously yanked his tie. John choked, face flushing crimson. Honey, what's wrong? Just excited about the new place. I deadpanned. When he leaned in for a kiss, I turned my cheek. No way I'd lock lips with that walking STD. Might accidentally bite his tongue off. Your lips are chapped, he noted with faux concern. Tri-C's new balm works wonders. Since when does Mr. Card fees or highway robbery splurge on $100 lip products? The house fell silent after they left. I raced to my laptop, logging into the iCloud account I'd secretly created for John. Last year's birthday gift, a top-tier iPhone with 2 terabytes cloud storage, had mysteriously disappeared during his business trip. He'd switched to Android, claiming Apple wasn't his style. Yet Sophia suddenly flaunted the latest iPhone. Gushing. My boyfriend's special gift. The cloud revealed 200 gigabytes of damning evidence, countless bathroom selfies and explicit bedroom shots of Sophia. All time-stamped. Turns out their affair began that rainy afternoon when I'd asked her to pick up Lily from daycare. There she stood, soaked white shirt clinging, accidentally needing John's jacket and a warming drink. I downloaded every incriminating photo onto a thumb drive. Then, $50 bought a 12-hour spam attack targeting John's number. Should have listened when I warned him about Android's security flaws, transparent as lingerie. Right on cue. 10 minutes later, babe, my phone's glitching. I feigned concern. Must be work-related. I'll be stuck here all night. The line went dead. I smirked at his pathetic acting. The voice on the phone sounded concerned. Take care of yourself. Hanging up. My first thought was that the unknown number must be Sophia. Grabbing my burner phone, I searched the number. A female profile popped up immediately, unmistakably Sophia's social media photo. I clicked add friend and typed, I'm a loan department manager from XX Bank. Though uncertain she'd accept. I felt I had a 50-50 chance. They'd be desperate for mortgage solutions now. Tossing the phone aside, I logged into John's WeChat. His first account showed pristine emptiness until I remembered the broadband service number. Bingo, there he was. Same profile picture. I'd always mistaken John's aloofness for sophistication. Truth was, the small-town boy's insecurity manifested as coldness to mask his fragile ego. Even now, he clung to this facade. The WeChat account I'd created for him years ago still used the original password, his lazy habits finally paying off. Our marriage had spoiled him rotten, letting him believe designer suits could mask his gutter stench. The chat logs exposed their meticulous plotting. It began innocently with Sophia sharing mundane updates, gradually ensnaring John in her honeyed fantasies. His ego ballooned with every "you're amazing, John" until her pregnancy announcement. I'm at the hospital entrance right now. Say the word and I'll terminate it. We used protection. Remember that night with the lace chemise? You tore it off me before we, followed by blushing emojis. I can't divorce Emily, but I don't want to hurt you either. Typical, clinging to family stability while sampling affairs. Sophia played her trump card, it's a boy. You know my family's preference for sons. If I abort, what if I can't conceive another later? The messages turned my stomach. She weaponized patriarchal toxicity while claiming rural authenticity, a woman perpetuating the same system that oppressed her. Who dares claim my son? You'll always be mine. My heir bears the Wilson name. But Emily's ruthless. You'll lose everything. Don't worry. I have a plan. His plan involved exploiting my trust through fake divorce papers, using our daughter Lily as leverage while setting legal traps. I methodically preserved every shred of evidence before logging out, packing Lily's overnight bag. I called Grace, the only friend who'd stood by me through previous courtroom battles. Need you to watch Lily for 2 days. Something came up. Timing my arrival. I showered and practiced steady breathing outside the daycare. My palms sweat as nursery rhymes floated through the gates. After 732 days, I'd finally hold my Lily again. With a cute little skip in her step, she emerged. Lily Clark wore a pastel yellow outfit today, waving her tiny hand frantically at me. My eyes welled up with tears. She politely waved goodbye to her teacher before darting into my arms. Mommy, Lily missed you so much. Her carefree nature couldn't bear even a day's separation. After 700 endless days, I finally held her close, breathing in her sweet baby scent. Mommy loves you too, sweetheart. This moment made me truly feel alive again, a second chance at life. My daughter became both my vulnerability and my armor. Those who harmed her in our previous life would pay dearly. I took Lily to Pizza Hut, ordering her favorite pepperoni pie. She blinked her big round eyes. But Mommy, Mrs. Wilson will be mad. My mother-in-law despised fast food, calling it overpriced flatbread with scraps. Yet she filled drawers with fake crystals, claiming gemstones have healing energy. Her $10,000 rocks mattered more than my child's $15 pizza. From now on, we eat whatever Lily wants, I said, tweaking her space buns affectionately. Halfway through her slice, Lily's expression clouded. Mommy? Did Lily do something bad? She hesitated. Last month, Daddy brought me here. With Sophia Miller. She said it's our secret. My hand froze mid-reach. Memories flooded back. Sophia's small project I'd helped with last month. The probation period at our firm where permanent positions doubled salaries. I'd pitted her oppressive family situation, never suspecting she'd covet my life. Daddy let Sophia put her feet on his lap. He said she had splinters. But Lily's tiny voice trembled. Daddy's lap is only for Mommy. My knuckles whitened. Baby, Mommy needs to tell you something important. Do you trust me? My 4-year-old slid from her seat, wrapping arms around my waist. Lily always loves Mommy. Tears threatened as I whispered. Mommy and Daddy are going to live separately. Her tears fell first. I dreamed Daddy stayed with Sophia. They hit me. It hurt. No home. Her fierce hug confirmed it. My baby had relived our nightmare too, mistaking rebirth for bad dreams. After settling Lily at Grace Taylor's, my friend immediately sensed trouble. Emily, what's wrong? John's cheating and draining our assets. Grace exploded. That bastard. Last week I saw him at the mall buying Tiffany jewelry. Since when does that miser splurge on you? We exchanged knowing looks. The C-store purchase wasn't for his wife, but his mistress. After venting her anger, she rolled up her sleeves with the ferocity of someone ready to claw his face off. I chuckled and hugged her gently. You're the best. But I've already got a plan. Just do me one favor. Name it. She declared. Should I go slash that homewrecker's tires or write an online expose? Take Lily to my mom's place. Help them relocate discreetly, make sure the Wilsons can't track them. I handed over my daughter's birth certificate and ID. What about you? I'll join you after wrapping things up here. No solo heroics, she warned. I nodded. After entrusting my daughter to my best friend, I raced to a private investigator. Money talks, last time. Gathering evidence had been impossible without funds. Now, staring at the string of zeros in my bank account, I felt bulletproof. Our company's profit-sharing plan had always absorbed my bonuses. In my previous life, I'd naively disclosed all my assets to John for a down payment. Not this time. The $200,000 in that account? He knew nothing about it. I paid $20,000 upfront for 24/7 surveillance on John, with a $5,000 bonus for concrete evidence of infidelity. Premium service delivered before I'd even left the agency. Their team was already stationed outside Sophia's apartment. John's car sat conspicuously in her driveway. Accessing OnStar navigation, I downloaded a year's worth of his driving records. Sophia's alternate social media account revealed their cozy double life, prime rib dinners, Ferris wheel kisses, domestic bliss photos tagged #relationship goals. One ultrasound post chilled me, 300 days, our baby boy will have daddy's strong jawline. By dawn, I'd organized the digital paper trail. Exhaustion battled adrenaline. Game on. True to form, John ghosted all weekend. Come Monday, I escorted Mrs. Wilson to transfer the property title. Thank God for her past insistence on co-ownership, otherwise we couldn't have moved so fast. John stepped out to make a call before signing. I knew exactly which loan shark he was contacting, probably confirming the mortgage would transfer with the house. His pen slashed across the documents without hesitation. Mrs. Wilson balked at wiring $200,000 until a chatty bystander intervened. $2 million for an Etune district property? Honey, that's highway robbery, market values at least $2,600,000. I smiled sweetly. Family discount. The busybody nudged Mrs. Wilson. If you don't want it, I'll take it. This is fire sale pricing. Like hell. Mrs. Wilson snapped, completing the transfer with property purchase in the memo line. The actress I paid $500 to play that nosy neighbor deserves an Oscar. Morning, house sold. Afternoon, divorce court. Outside the courthouse, I tugged John's sleeve. I checked, they make couples do counseling now. For guaranteed approval. Pinch me hard before we go in. I'll cry abuse. Say you gamble and owe loan sharks. You're generously taking the debt so we get instant approval. He hesitated, vanity warring with greed. I played my trump card. The new 2-year home buying restriction kicks in after the mandatory waiting period. This is our last chance. His phone rang. As he stepped away to take Sophia's call, I pretended to text while eavesdropping from behind a planter. His voice carried on the breeze. Cold and precise as ever, processing the paperwork now. Stop nagging. The loan officer insisted that we needed to be married to qualify for the full amount. With the new policy requiring children's residency in school districts to be registered from birth, we had to act fast. All right. Stop crying. I'll handle it immediately, I said calmly. I'll find an excuse to send her away. Come over later so we can get the marriage license and pay the deposit this afternoon. My lips curved into a slow smile as I typed, no need to thank me. The policies are strict these days, better hurry. Sophia had never been particularly sharp. Using the loan officer's identity, I'd added her on WeChat. Within 2 days, I'd made her desperate enough to rush into this. She probably feared John would slip away, for someone of her social standing. He was the ultimate catch. Pausing at the threshold, I turned to him. Will you regret this? He blinked, flashing that charming grin. Why would I regret buying property? Good, I replied sincerely. May your future be smooth sailing. He cleared his throat awkwardly. Same to you. From this moment, it would only be you and me left. At the Civil Affairs office, the staff separated us as planned. Before the counselor could speak, I burst into tears, revealing the bruises on my arms. We're both women, I choked out. Who would choose divorce unless it's unbearable? The counselor's eyes widened at my injuries. Did he? Domestic violence. Gambling debts. He took our daughter to meet his mistress. She came back sick. My voice broke authentically. My parents' property was sold below market value by his family. I just want out. Tears welled in the counselor's eyes as she stormed out, returning with John's signed affidavit admitting to domestic abuse and usurious loans, forfeiting all marital assets. Impressive efficiency. Be brave. The counselor embraced me. The law protects you. This time. My tears were real, years of struggle crumbling before unexpected kindness. Could I add your WeChat? I sniffled. Of course. She smiled. I'm the on-site counselor. You'll get through this. John looked pale when we emerged. The embossed seal transformed our marriage certificate into divorce papers. Red stamps commemorating red booklets, death and rebirth. Those staff were so harsh. He whined outside. The act beginning already. I gestured toward the wedding section where couples laughed, separated from our somber proceedings by mere drywall. Love's promise versus its unraveling. His nervous pacing betrayed his guilt. John? I prompted gently. I need to pick someone up later. He stammered, eagerness leaking through feigned remorse. Let me drive you home first. I'll manage. Don't miss work. My departure cleared the path for his next marital adventure. The text from my private investigator arrived as his car disappeared. The documents arrived at City Hall. Then came a photograph. Sophia Miller stood in a red dress, her usual timidity replaced by triumphant arrogance that quickly shattered at the marriage license office. The clerk sneered. Wow. Divorced in the morning and remarried by afternoon? Even seamless Wi-Fi connections aren't this quick. John flushed with embarrassment while Sophia bristled. We're here to legally register our marriage. She snapped. The clerk who'd helped me earlier retorted. Legal doesn't mean moral. Clutching her stomach dramatically, Sophia shot John a pitiful look until his threats of complaints forced the staff to process their paperwork sans the customary congratulations. 2 videos hit my phone simultaneously, one from the private investigator, another from the therapist. Her message blinked, congrats on your rebirth. My door's always open. I replied thanks before adding my own postscript, trash belongs in dumpsters, using my loan officer alias. I flooded social media with updates about Harbor City's real estate boom. Right on schedule. John's call came. Honey. Green Court's sales team says multiple offers are coming in. Wire the $500,000 deposit now. $500,000? He'd be lucky to get 50 cents. Right away. I answered sweetly, tossing my phone aside as I sipped mocha in the cafe. Outside, couples shared ice cream cones and whispered sweet nothings. Love's beautiful until it demands your annihilation. John's follow-up calls erupted like machine gun fire. Emily, where's the transfer? A salesperson's voice cut through. Mr. Wilson. 8 other buyers are circling this property. I feigned panic. John. My card got locked after too many PIN attempts. The bank needs 5 business days to unlock it. What about the $80,000 in your account? Secure the house now and I'll repay you when Mom's funds clear. He barked. Of course. I murmured, smiling as he hung up. My obedient puppy act had him convinced. He'd forgotten I'm the wolf who single-handedly dominated East China's sales market. Wolves might nibble greens, but we don't wag tails. Only cubs soften our hearts. Scrolling through Sophia's secret social account, I found the smoking gun, a purchase contract bearing both their names. Finally building our forever home, red heart, she'd captioned a hand-holding photo. Their candlelit steak dinner posts showed clinking wine glasses against harbor lights. John stumbled home reeking of Cabernet. Tie dangling. For once. He didn't bother hiding his contempt as he face-planted on the couch. I gathered his discarded jacket. Voice honeyed, I made your favorites to celebrate. His smirk returned, watching me play submissive hostess. The table groaned with braised lamb chops, chive omelets, conch stir fry, and chestnut chicken stew, every dish a landmine with red wine. Such feast tonight, babe? I clinked my sorghum liquor shot against his glass. John. After all our struggles, the house, cars, baby on the way. My eyes glistened tenderly. You'd never abandon us now, would you? Under my coaxing, John kept downing drink after drink. In the past, I'd never let him indulge in rich foods at night for the sake of his health, let alone hard liquor. Last year's physical showed concerning stomach indicators, with the doctor warning that poor maintenance could lead to cancer. Since that day, our dinner table had only featured healthy recipes. When he ate vegetarian, I joined him. This clearly dampened his spirits. For the past year, he'd been using overtime excuses to indulge freely with Sophia. Now I decided to fan the flames. Over the following days, he returned home increasingly late. Through Sophia's social media, I watched them savor gourmet meals and share fine wines. I responded by sending him various nourishing soups and customized meal plans. Seeing Sophia's latest post about free personal chefs, I smiled faintly. Let her enjoy the drinks she loved. Since John hadn't received the funds yet, he remained eager to humor me. I happily played along with this charade. Each day brought new culinary surprises, homemade dishes upon his return, always accompanied by bigio and flattery. When he inquired about the money, I blamed bank processing delays. To maintain his trust, I even transferred him 10,000 yuan, claiming health issues. I took several days off work, completely abandoning the project in Sophia's hands. The inevitable call came eventually, her tearful voice pleading through the phone, "Emily, you need to come back. The project's crashing." Of course it was crashing. That community college graduate had been riding my coattails for years. "I'll be right there," I replied. The office buzzed with hushed whispers and sideways glances when I returned. My cold smile acknowledged the brewing storm. Sophia came rushing out immediately, her plain features accentuated by naturally drooping eyes that perfected the damsel in distress act men found irresistible. "Emily, I swear I didn't mean to mess up the contract. It was an honest mistake," she wailed. Her small error had added an extra zero to the 3 million yuan deal, ballooning it to 30 million. Boss Michael stood grim-faced by the window. "Emily, my office. Now." We went way back to university days, when I interviewed during his startup phase. Our aligned visions created instant synergy. Through 8 years, I'd climbed from entry-level to marketing director through sheer competence. Even during last life's sexual rumors and professional setbacks, Michael had simply given me paid leave. He'd even helped with Lily's custody battle. "Michael," I acknowledged. "This time, don't even think about covering for Sophia. Her incompetence cost us dearly." "I wouldn't dream of it," I smiled. "Adults should clean their own messes." His shoulders relaxed. Finally some sense. "What about the Sioux City project I mentioned?" "I'll take it." Last life, I declined the partnership for John and Lily. We shook hands firmly. "Pleasure doing business. Partner Clark." "Likewise. Partner Brown." Exiting, I threw him a grin. "Better call security. I might commit assault later." His stunned expression fueled my stride out. Near the break room, Vincent from the rival division was holding court with his team. This time when her intern messed up, the Suzhou project was definitely going to Director Fu. Fu Chang smirked, "Not necessarily. She's still Michael's favorite." His team members snickered, the kind of favorite you become by sleeping your way to the top. Rumor has it she divorced her husband after getting involved with our Michael. They've been sleeping together for ages. The men exchanged lewd grins. "That body though. Wonder how much it'd cost to get a piece of that." "You think you're Michael?" "The man's loaded and handsome. What do you have?" "I've got skills in bed." Heh heh. I pushed the door open. trembling with disbelief. Is this true? I didn't even know. My voice cracked as I faced their stunned expressions. Fu Chang backpedaled, just office gossip. Gossip? Since when does gossip invent my divorce and an affair with Michael? My shout drew coworkers' attention. Sophia came running first. Emily, you're divorced? Her shrill voice carried through the floor. I pinched my thigh hard and slapped her across the face. My divorce happened because of you. I screamed, tears streaming. You slept with my husband, got pregnant, made him beat me. We divorced this morning and you rushed to the registry this afternoon. Grabbing her collar, I rained blows on her face. Only you knew about the divorce. Even Michael didn't. You wanted to humiliate me. Before she could react, I dialed 911. I'm being assaulted and slandered at work. When Michael emerged from his office, my tearful account left Fu Chang's crew pale. Just harmless talk. Michael! We heard it from others. Michael's voice turned glacial. Others? Name them. The rat race began, fingers pointed from accounting to logistics. Until the cleaning lady timidly identified Sophia. It was her. I heard her in the restroom yesterday. She made me swear secrecy. Said Director Clark had Michael's protection. The rumor mill's origin was Sophia after all. But this time, the timing was perfect. Clutching Michael's sleeve, I sobbed. I tolerated her destroying my marriage. But I won't endure her dragging your name through mud. Investigate thoroughly, Michael ordered. At the police station, John arrived bewildered. His mother, currently en route to Yunnan, should be smashing that jade bracelet right about now. When John saw Sophia's bruised face, he hesitated. John, she whimpered, putting on an act. John rushed to me. Honey, are you okay? Cops stared at his audacity. I flinched dramatically. Don't hit me. I signed the papers. I'll obey. Fake divorce. John shouted after hearing the report. We're still married. I produced their marriage certificate. Fake divorce with real marriage papers? The officer's contempt deepened. Emily. You bitch. John lunged. I took his slap without flinching. Blood trickling from my nose as he choked me. Part of me wished he'd hit harder, just enough to seal his fate. The station erupted. Cops wrestled him down, cuffing him to a chair. An officer handed me an ice pack. Ms. Clark, we can help you press charges. Assault and defamation. I dabbed my nose meekly. Thank you. I just want justice. I presented the divorce agreement. He hasn't paid a single cent in child support to this day. Sophia immediately stood up. He's Lily's father. If he goes to jail, it'll leave a permanent record that could affect Lily's future. Besides, your agreement was fake anyway, just paperwork for buying property. I calmly produced all documentation with notary seals from City Hall, including John's written confession of infidelity. I respect the law. This divorce is legitimate. I laid out WeChat transcripts, hotel reservation records, purchase receipts, property transfer records, repayment proofs, and IOUs. Officers. I spent 12 years maintaining the Wilson family cemetery, putting his sister through college. The $2.5 million house under my name was bought with my mother's down payment and my mortgage payments. I settled for $2 million without taking a single extra penny. As the wronged party, I only asked for full custody and a one-time 20% salary-based child support payment to sever ties with the scum permanently. My dry lips cracked as I spoke. The $3 lip balm I'd been using contrasting sharply with the $1,000 skincare sets he'd bought his mistress. All evidence shows I never took anything beyond what was rightfully mine. I fulfilled every duty as wife, daughter-in-law, and mother. He's the betrayer. John rattled his handcuffs furiously as I concluded, if he pays the full support amount immediately, I won't press charges. We'll go our separate ways forever. Sophia collapsed at my feet, clutching my legs. Emily, this is all my fault. Don't punish John. Give us 2 more days. When emotional blackmail failed, she switched to hysterical sobs that startled bystanders. My white hairs came from years of sacrifice. My daughter was premature because of his mother's abuse. While I scrimped. They dined on steak in Bordeaux. He bought his mistress cars and designer bags, abandoning me for her unborn son. Sophia lunged at me, clutching her stomach with murderous intent. Anticipating her fake miscarriage ploy, I dramatically collapsed into a policewoman's arms with practiced breathlessness as Sophia tumbled to the floor. John! The baby! Sophia wailed, crimson spreading beneath her. Amid the chaos, I calmly allowed myself to be loaded into an ambulance, genuinely fainting from weeks of stress-induced calculations. I awoke to a call from Yunnan. Mrs. Wilson's shrill voice demanded, Emily. John isn't answering. Come here immediately. Mrs. Wilson. I chuckled. Your son's in jail. Why would I? A staff member intercepted, Ms. Clark? Your former mother-in-law smashed a $400,000 jade bracelet here. She's refusing payment unless you come. Charge her son's credit card. The $500,000 limit should cover it. We're legally unrelated now. I blocked all Wilson contacts after sending final instructions to the clerk. Later, police informed me Sophia's miscarriage complications from reckless behavior, consuming young rich lamb chops in summer heat while taking conflicting medications, left her infertile. No offspring is better, I remarked. A son would become another John. A daughter would suffer like me. Entering her hospital room with lilies, I peeled an apple as Sophia rasped, everything you have should be mine. I earned my success through education and integrity. I replied evenly. My parents taught me self-respect. Had you approached me honestly instead of scheming, I might have walked away peacefully. The knife glinted as I continued, but you had to steal. Now your delusions of white picket fence domestic bliss with John will remain exactly that, delusions. She rubbed her belly, repeatedly murmuring my son. I sighed. You could have escaped that blood-sucking family. But you chose the easy way out. Several people burst into the hospital room. A man lunged forward, yanking Sophia's hair and slapping her. You slut! How dare you get married without bringing the dowry home? Sophia! That rich guy should give your brother $20,000 for his wedding. Big sis. You're so dumb letting him sleep with you for free. Amid the chaos, security rushed in. I wiped my knife clean, stabbed it into an apple, and left it on the bedside table before slipping out. Police sirens wailed outside. Did you hear? Some woman stabbed her brother in maternity ward. Sunlight broke through the clouds, warming my face. Later, John wired $1,500,000 through the police, begging for my forgiveness letter. I wrote it. He's still Lily's father, and I won't let his criminal record haunt my daughter. Besides, his days were numbered. Before our fallout, I'd made him take a physical. The results showed cancerous markers quintupled, gastric bleeding, and liver damage. He once swore traitors would die horribly. Karma's a bitch. John kept begging to meet. Emily, you're my soulmate. Let's remarry. I'll transfer the old house. I blocked him. My private investigator kept watch 24 hours a day during contract period. Later he reported, Mrs. Wilson got arrested in Yunnan after trashing a $50,000 jade cabbage. John mortgaged their $250,000 house for Lily's child support. His new home deposit vanished. When he tried refunds, security tossed him out. Desperate, he listed the property. Meanwhile, Sophia went psycho after stabbing her brother, landing in asylum. The PI grinned, pocketing final payment. Bonus intel: loan sharks beat John till he vomited blood. Doctors say his benign stomach tumor ruptured. Terminal now. I laughed till tears came. Even God wants him dead. At the airport, Michael stood hands in pockets. Safe travels. Emily. I handed him a dossier. Partner. I might screw you over one last time. He shook the file on John's data trafficking. Anytime. The plane touched down in Suzhou. Lily held Sophia's hand, her face lighting up when she spotted me. She came running and leaped into my arms. I kissed her rosy cheeks as she clung to me. Mommy. I missed you so much, she exclaimed. I love it here with Grandma and Grandpa. Can we stay forever? Always. I promised, hugging her tighter. This is our home now. That night, I cradled Lily in bed while reading her favorite storybook. When we reached the part where the little prince found his rose, she squeezed her teddy bear and planted kisses on both my cheek and the stuffed animal's fuzzy head. Mommy. I had another special dream, she whispered with excited eyes. I played along. Was it a good dream? The best. She held up the bear solemnly. Mr. Teddy told me he fixed a big mistake. He turned back time Grandpa's clock so we get to be happy together forever and ever. My breath caught as I stared at the handmade bear clutched in her small hands. I'd stitched every seam myself during those endless pregnancy nights, embedding the protective jade pendant near its heart, my first mother's prayer for this child. Now its glass eyes seemed to twinkle with secrets as Lily's words echoed my own desperate wish from years past. She nestled closer, completely certain of our storybook ending. Outside her window, fireflies winked like scattered stardust across the summer night.